to episode 4 of Sam's Jeep Packing. Today I'm back at Saddle Mountain, but at a different campsite. So I went and bought a new, bigger, slightly heavier tent for Jeep packing, and I haven't opened it up yet. I haven't put it up outside yet. So let me show you it right now. The following is the product description of my new tent. The Lynx is packed with features and high quality. The Lynx, which has aluminum poles, is very similar to the Taurus, which is one of their best-selling tents. The Lynx has more mesh than the Taurus, taking up half of the walls on each side, allowing for even more ventilation. The tent is an easy to set up 2-pole rectangular dome style tent. Well, okay, we'll see. With pole clips that easily fit over the poles for quick assembly. ALPS has not cut any corners between the factory sealed fly and floor seams, weatherproof fly buckles, 2 doors for easy entering and leaving, 2 vestibules for extra gear storage and weather protection, and extra large number 8 zippers. It is a windy day, so this is going to be kind of challenging to put this together. The instructions sheet is like sewn into the storage bag here. We recommend that you practice pitching up your new tent at home. Yeah, I know, okay. I didn't do that. Choose a suitable site to pitch your tent. So I'm going to put it like right out here in front of me. Well, actually behind me here. Assemble the 2 pole sets, making sure all the pole sections slide completely together. Alright, so let's find those. I guess the poles are in this back. There they are. They're in a plastic bag for shipping. So I'll dispose of this properly when I get home. Hopefully there's 2 sets of these in here. Just gonna let them drop. We'll separate out. There we go. This is very similar to my first tent I had, backpack. I bought that from Walmart. Okay, now here it is. Put it on the ground for now. And 2. It's pretty long, actually, very long. This should be like a big, should be up pretty high quite a way. Try to put this tent up according to the instructions. Tent poles first, tent stakes last. But the wind is really blowing hard here, and I don't know if I can do this by myself. Well, okay, I think the wind, oh, there it goes. I'm gonna have to do this by myself off camera. I finally got the tent up after 3 or 4 attempts, with the tent blowing away in the wind each time. I'm not used to putting up a tent the way the instructions told me to do this one. The instructions said put up the poles first and then stake it down as the last step, which is kind of crazy in this windy environment. I gotta put the guidelines up still, but they're in a tangled mess, and I just don't have the patience to untangle them and get them up now. It seems pretty solid right now, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Yeah, pretty good looking tent though. This is my usual campsite for Jeep packing, and I was going to use this site, but someone in the intervening time from last month's camping, they like messed up my campfire ring here. So I decided I would go up to the next one, which is on the way up to Flat Top Mountain there, and I ended up camping up here. But this campsite going on the way to Tabletop Mountain should work. I have to put my backpack to weigh down my camera tripod. The wind is blowing so hard here. I do have one new item, and it's this camping chair. Ah, there goes the wind blowing the back down. Nothing is cooperating today at this campsite. I got it for my birthday 2 weeks ago from my wife. Very first camping trip with it. It has a side table, and the gloves are covering up the cup holder. It can hold a smartphone in the gloves. I still have to bring my little white side table though when I go jeep packing. The weather, besides the wind, is changing here at this site. The clouds are getting gray. And it's getting cooler too. I can feel it on my face. My face is getting cold. So what I'm going to do next is make my lunch, and then I'm going to plan out a little hiking trip to the mountain behind me to where I tried to a month ago, but I ran into a big gully which was way too steep for me to try to climb down and around. So I'm going to try to get around that gully by going up, that way. So after lunch I'll get back to you. Well, I just got done with my lunch. It's about 1:21 in the afternoon. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to try to make my way up a mountain that I tried to do on my last jeep packing trip about a month ago. Let me put that on the camera for you. Well, this is my self-named Tabletop Mountain, and a month ago I tried to hike to it, but there was a big wash in the way, so I had to abandon the attempt. So today I'm going to go around to the left and go through a less steep side of the wash, and let's see if I can get over there today. So I'm going to go on to the left of that mountain now, and just right behind me the route I'm going to take, and there's that mountain right there. A lot of gray clouds coming in from that direction, so I hope we're going to be fine here. So I'm just going to go right over here. Here's the tent. I'm just going to go right on over here. Okay, here's the little gully. It's only a few feet away from where I started, so it's a lot more passable here. So I'm just going to go down into it at the bottom, and I'm climbing back up again. Once I climb up, I'll just start following along to the right. Climbing up the side of this mountain now. There's no way I'm going to get up top of that thing. I'm not a mountain climber. Just want to see how far I can get safely. Well, this is about as far as I'm going to go. It's starting to get a bit steep. And I didn't really do any kind of backpacking training. If I had, I could probably go to the base, right up there somewhere. But no, you don't chance things when you're starting to get tired. So There's a rock down here to sit on, and I'll give you a great view of the valley below. So there's the valley below. That's where everyone's camping at in Saddle Mountain. And my little campsite, my Jeep, is down around in there somewhere, I think. I can't see it very good on the screen here. So I did come up quite a way up here. The sky is gray, and off in the distance, I don't know if you can see it in the camera here, but yeah, there's rain showers, especially right over there. The weather forecast for today was the rain was going to stay to the north of this location. So I'm going to cross my fingers and make sure, because I don't want no rain. It's coolish enough already. The place where I'm at right now is not very windy, but that's because I think I'm right in front of the mountain here, so it's blocking the wind. I think once I return to my campsite down there, it'll be a different story. So I'm having a good time here. I got up here quicker than what I thought. It's about a little after 2 o'clock now. So next up is I'm going to return back down the side of this foothill, back to my campsite. I've got some wood gathering and some wood chopping to do for tonight. I want to try to get as much wood from the desert here as I can. The campsite had some wood already there, so I'm going to process that, and I'm going to process my own store-bought bag of wood, and hoping that that will keep me warm tonight while I'm outside. I may also improve the fire ring too. Raise it up with some more rocks to have a heat reflector. So, on my way back. Once I get down low enough, I have to follow that wash or gully off in that way somewhere to find a good crossing point to get back to my campsite. This trip is special to me, and it's because it's going to be the last one that I'll be taking as a gainfully employed career player within IT for many decades. I decided in the past couple weeks it's time to move on to the next phase of my life and to retire. So I'm going to be doing that effective April the 8th, 2018. That's about 6 weeks from now. And then I'll be able to do these kind of trips much more often, get more videos out for you on Sam's Camping Videos. Coming up one of those washes here that I have to traverse. Oh, almost slipped. I'm looking at the camera when I should be looking at where I'm walking. Let the camera do its job and let me do my job of walking straight. There we go. And here's the next wash to traverse here. Not as bad as the one I just went through. Alright, back up. And I think I'm through going in and out of washes and gullies now. I can just go back to my campsite. Oh, there's home sweet home for today and tonight and till tomorrow morning when I leave. I'm looking forward to retirement. I have a lot of personal pursuits I want to do. The major one is my YouTube channel. I don't have enough time to do that properly while I'm working full time. I don't really have to work full time anymore. So I can go ahead and do it now. I wasn't going to do it for like another year. But now's a good time as any. Get a jump on it. Plus, I'm going to be a grandfather in July of this year. So I want to be home, spend time, take care of my new grandchild. First grandchild. Well, I just made it back. So I'm going to take it easy for a few minutes here. And then we'll be on to wood gathering in the desert around me and processing of wood that I brought with me. I just got back and I chopped up some more wood and I went scouring around for some more rocks to build up the back of my campfire ring so that it would be a nice heat reflector for me tonight. I'll be sitting right over here and that heat should bounce back to me very well. Contemplation time in the late afternoon at Saddle Mountain. It's been a cold and windy day here, but I look forward to the evening. Saddle Mountain is a great place for wintertime camping. Hope my head is in the viewfinder there. So far today, it's about 5:41. It's been some problems which have occurred, and the end result is the wind blew down the camera tripod. I had my primary camera, my camcorder, attached to it. It toppled, and it broke the camcorder. It no longer works. So I'm having to do this on my sports action camera. And I've done full videos of sand tree packing with this camera before. The ones I did last year, episodes 1 and 2, they were totally done on this camera. The only issue is the audio with wind. So I think I got it positioned away from wind noise. So you should be able to hear me pretty good, I hope. As I promised earlier, I'm going to show you two new food items I'm going to have for dinner. The main entree and the dessert. I'll give it a try. So this one, the first one up is Mountain House, and it's Italian style pepper steak with rice and tomatoes. And it has 2 servings. I probably can eat all of this if it's good. So that's the main entree for today. I'm going to start boiling the water for this in a few minutes. And for dessert, 4 servings. It's Mountain House raspberry crumble, raspberry sauce topped with chocolate cookie crumbles. 4 servings. And I don't think I'll be eating all of this at one sitting, but it can be served cold. So that means once it's been heated up, it does need boiling water also. Once it's been heated up and I eat some of it, I can like seal it back up and have some more later around the campfire when it's cold. So that should be pretty good. I'm looking forward to this. So I'm going to get on the boiling water up for my main entree, the pepper steak. And I'll get back to you later. Well, my pepper steak should be done now. So I'm going to open it up here. I'm supposed to stir it one more time. I stirred it earlier when I poured the boiling water in it about 10 minutes ago. Okay. Give it a try. Got good taste, but the little beef chunk I just had was a bit tough. Okay, I'm gonna eat my dinner now, and I'll get back to you when I'm done doing that and get ready to make my dessert. It is fire time, so while I'm waiting on my dessert to cook up in its bag, let's get this fire going. Okay. A little bit shaky there on the building up. There we go. Doing this freehand now because I don't have a camcorder. Well, I wasn't able to finish that pepper steak dinner. It just wasn't all that appetizing to me. So I ate almost one serving of the 2 servings. So I went and cooked up my raspberry crumble dessert here. I think I have one more step to do though. Sprinkle the chocolate cookie crumbs over the prepared sauce. Okay, so let me do that. Must be in this package right here. I like it when all the stuff is all ready to go in the same package. This has 2 different pieces to it. The sauce, which was, of course, powder form. Let's give this a try here, because I'm going to have to stop filming here in a minute. The battery for my sports action camera has to be recharged before I can do anything else. That is good. Like a burst of flavor. Show you how this looks. See? wonderful. Okay. I need to put the camera out of action for about an hour or so. I'll get back to you later. Well, it's about 7:30, and so the camera, the sports action camera, is charged up enough, I think, by now. Hopefully you can see me by the firelight. This fire is very warm. It was a great idea for me to build up the back of it into a heat reflector, because that really did work. I'm feeling heat coming back on me. As I said earlier today, I am retiring from my 38-year IT career. Started in 1980 when I graduated from the University of Cincinnati, and I eventually got my first job there in Cincinnati as a computer programmer in the early 80s, and then I moved out to Arizona with my wife, who was from Arizona, in 1985, and got a job at the local county government here, and I've had that essentially ever since. I have to still tell my employer this, in a couple days, 3 days from now, on Monday. Today is Friday. But retirement will just allow me to do what I really want to do, and that's just to camp and hike and backpack and jeep pack and discover new places to go to, which I just don't have time to do when I'm working full time in a IT career. So, in closing, as I watch my fire here and the warmth of it that's generating on me, I look forward to my retirement. I'm not retiring from YouTubing. I'm just starting on YouTubing. So until a little bit later, when I'll be in the tent, getting ready, to turn in for the night, and I'll see you at that time. Well, I'm in my tent now. The tent is bigger on the inside, that's for sure. I have headroom to actually change out of my day clothes and into my base layers for sleeping. Hoping you can see me here. Maybe that'll help. So I'm just going to settle down here. It's about 8:30 right now, and I put a movie and an episode of something, I don't remember what it was now, on my smartphone, so I'm going to watch that for a while, and then I'm going to turn in for the night. So I'll see you then. It's in the low 50s in the tent right now, and getting just a tiny bit chilly inside the sleeping bag, but I think once I'm really all zipped up, I should be all right. The sleeping bag is rated for 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so I should be fine. But I'll let you know later, either during the night or in the morning, about that. So until tomorrow morning, good night. Well, good morning. It's about 7:35. It's very cool, 42 degrees in here. It did get down to about 41 about an hour ago. So that was as cold as it got. Had to switch out my water bottle once, put new hot water in for my thermos that I bring in from home. And that's a great thermos. Let me show you it. Here, one more time. Here. This keeps water hot. I mean, for almost 48 hours, it's still like boiling hot in there. And here's the little hot water bottle. it's not insulated, so it gets hot. It's metal. So for the most part, I slept all right. I had to get up maybe like 3 times to like go pee. So I'm gonna get on up and change into my clothes and get outside and make my first cup of coffee before I eat breakfast. I'll see you then. Well, I just made my first cup of coffee. Got most of the stuff out of my tent except for my sleeping pad and my sleeping bag, and they're like toward the last things I do before I take the tent down, pack it away. Always good to have the first cup of coffee out in the cold. I think it got out into the upper 30s here. My smartphone says for the nearest town, Tonopah is a few miles away. It was at 38 at the time, about half an hour ago. So, but the sun is like up nice and early on this trip, so I'm bathed in sunlight. I was getting bathed in sunlight inside the tent even before I got out after I got dressed. So it's warming up, and not going to be too cold out here actually in the sun this morning. There's no wind or breeze, finally. So this should make taking the tent down much easier than what it was putting it up yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my coffee and get my breakfast made. It's the same thing. I didn't change this up. Granola with milk and blueberry. Just add cold water. That's all. No cooking. So once I'm chowing down on that, I'll get back to you. I just made my breakfast. It's the granola with milk and blueberries. Very good. My wife texted me on the phone, said good morning, saying if I wanted breakfast when I got home, because I will be home before noon. And of course, sure, I'll have a second breakfast. This isn't going to carry me into lunch later on today, so. A review of the new tent from beginning to end. Do not try to put it up on a windy day. It will blow away from you unless you have a second person with you. It was kind of new for me having to do it the way I did, because I'm used to putting out the tent stakes first on a tent. The instructions had that as the last thing to do. So that contributed to the blowing away tent phenomenon I had about 3 or 4 times yesterday afternoon. The best thing about the new tent, though, is it is bigger, longer, wider, especially taller for me because I'm 6'3", and in a backpacking tent, I really struggle getting in and out of clothes when you're on the inside. I know a lot of the backpackers, they change their clothes outside because of that, but and I've never really done that. I've always been used to changing clothes inside of a tent. That was easier when I was in my younger days, about 20 years ago, but it's getting rougher and rougher to do as I enter my 6th decade of life. Well, actually, I'm kind of well into it now. I turned 61 about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, something like that. So it's a struggle, but with this new tent, I can sit up and not be like bending over because the tent roof is in the way. You know, I can sit up straight and not be hitting the roof at all, and that's a great bonus for me. I'll put a description of the tent, you know, below the video, right down here, so you can check it out for yourself. It wasn't that expensive. It was probably around $90, $390 and $110. I don't quite remember what it was. I got it about 3 weeks ago, I think, from Amazon. I just got to put away my my bedding, which is the sleeping pad, and then figure out some way to shove that sleeping bag into its compression sack. I wasn't able to do it on the last trip. I just gave up on it. It's too silky feeling, and it just slides around when I'm trying to roll it up. I've seen others on YouTube, Joe Robinette, bushcrafting. I've seen them do this and that is to just shove it in there. Don't roll it for, just shove it in there. And so I think I'll try that. And if I fail at that, I'll just throw it in the back of the tent and I'll roll it up when I get home. This chair is another new item I took with me, and it's working. It worked out great for me. It has a nice little side table. I still need another little table when I'm G-packing, but this is something I'm going to be bringing, you know, from now on. This worked out very well. I also figured out with my new little jet boiler clone, because it really isn't a jet boiler, it's something else, but it uses jet boiler tanks. It's about approximately 1 tank per day. It actually lasts, you know, a little bit more, maybe a day and a half. But so now I know how long those last, because they ran out on me when I was boiling water from my hot water bottle last night before I went and retired into the tent for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my breakfast and drink my coffee, and I'll get back to you right before I'm ready to leave to go home. So I'm at the end of another great episode of Sam's G-Packing, episode 4. If you like this video, like it on YouTube. And if you're a first-time visitor to Sam's Camping Videos, subscribe for more additional great content. Until next time, be safe, have fun. Goodbye.